Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I associate myself with the comments about sportsmen. Just several weeks ago, I accepted the chairmanship of the Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation, which I'm greatly honored to do and look forward to working with you on those issues. I have visited your wonderful state, camped there, visited Minot with Senator Kramer, and I must say Minot is the flattest place I've ever been in my life. One of the locals said the good thing about it is if your dog runs away, you can still see him after 3 days. And I also want to compliment you. A lot of people talk about an all-of-the-above energy strategy. You did it. You implemented it in North Dakota. Over 30%, 36% of your electricity comes from wind. And I hope one of the projects you might undertake when and if you are confirmed is to convince your boss that wind power isn't all bad. He is well known for his opposition to wind power, but you know that the benefits are there. Of course, base load is also important. Storage is important to balance the grid. I understand that. But coming from a state where 35, 36% of your electricity came from wind, I hope you can talk to the president about the fact that wind has its virtues and can contribute significantly because we are, as you note, facing a huge energy challenge over the next 15 to 20 years to support the knowledge economy. Will you undertake that project?
Senator King, certainly you've got great wind resources in Maine. We've got good wind resources in North Dakota. Not every state is lucky to have that. The resources that we do where the wind is blowing, maybe that flat ground helps us on that. Very few trees to stop the wind. But I would say the key here you mentioned is base load versus the intermittent, because we've got to have the right balance, and we maybe have tipped a little too far in one direction. So I think that's the key piece for us, the key short-term emergency.
But you do see the value of wind power. A third of your state's electricity comes from that source.
Yeah, and most of that we export, and so I think our neighbors are happy to have that. But I would also say that, again, it is we need an all-of-the-above strategy. It's what we've had in North Dakota.
And a balanced
It's a balance, but we need more. We need more, and the thing we're short of most right now is base load.
Well, Maine has an asset similar to yours offshore.
Mm-hmm.
And the Department of the Interior executed several leases recently. I hope I can have your commitment to continue with those leases. They will produce enough energy for all the homes in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. It's an enormous resource in the Gulf of Maine that can provide significant energy. As you may know, the capacity factor of offshore wind is significantly higher than terrestrial wind. So I hope that your department will continue with the projects that are already underway. Will you commit to that?
I'm not familiar with every project that the Interior has underway, but I'll certainly be taking a look at all of those. And if they make sense and they're already in law, then they'll continue. I think the key is, and I think President Trump's been very clear in his statements that he's concerned about the significant amount of tax incentives that have gone towards some forms of energy that have helped exacerbate this imbalance that we're seeing right now today.
You talked briefly to some of the other questions about permitting reform, and I was involved in the discussions with Senator Barrasso, Senator Manchin, and others about the permitting bill that unfortunately we couldn't get across the goal line at the end of the last Congress. I presume that permitting reform not only is for generation projects, but transmission. Do you appreciate the difficulty of permitting transmission assets, particularly in the West?
Well, yes, and I think that this is one of the challenges of our time, and it's one of the challenges that we need to undertake, because whether it's a transmission line, a pipeline, whatever it happens to be, trying to get built, it just takes too long in our country. And if we don't have it's one thing to be able to generate that electricity, but if we don't have the ability to transmit it to the places where it's needed, that's going to be a problem.
Exactly. Senator Daines has already mentioned the American the Beautiful Act that he and I have introduced. It's a refresh of the Great American Outdoors Act, one of the most successful initiatives of the Trump administration. I remember working with Secretary Zinke on that project. So I'm gratified to hear your support for that proposal. Final point is we talked about, and that talks about the backlog of maintenance in the national parks and public lands. One of the problems is the department has chronically underfunded maintenance on an ongoing basis. In other words, we're being asked to fix a backlog that frankly should not have existed. And I hope that you'll work with the National Park Service and the Office of Management and Budget to be sure that a sufficient fund is allocated to ongoing maintenance so we don't continue to dig the hole deeper.
Well, I agree with you on that, and this is one of the things when I came in as a business guy into government, I was shocked to find out that we, in North Dakota, didn't have appropriate formulas for funding deferred maintenance. I mean, everybody was happy to approve appropriations to build new buildings, but it was tough to get a dime to take care of the ones we already have. And I think that this is something we're going to take a look at procedurally within Interior. I know that we've got over 2,400 locations, I'm told, in terms of where we've got people stationed.
Right.
We've just got to make sure that not just the national parks, but across the whole department. But we've got to get the formulas right because we're creating liabilities for future generations if we're not taking care of that deferred maintenance.
I can tell you that the formula right now is not right, so I encourage you to take that step. Thank you very much, Governor, for joining us, and we'll look forward to hearing from you further in this hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.